go back and you see, stop filming for a second, honey. Move the glass door away. I don't want you to take it through the door. Sweetheart. No, I wanted you to open the door more. That's right. More. I'm in my bathroom.
There's some nice things in the bathroom. There's
what?
A nice little cage with
also a nice
toilet
feature,
paper in it.
Nice feature is that we each have our own bathroom.
Yeah. There's a mirror with a shaving thing on it in your bathroom that I can't use.
But it's mine.
There's her stretched out bathing suit.
There's a shower head.
Towels and a shower head.
Howard.
And there's a dwindling bar of soap.
Dove.
Oops, I just skipped over a very important part.
Notice that my feet don't touch the end.
Oh my goodness.
That's to show how deep it is. That if I weren't being photographed, I would be submerged.
That is wonderful to see those little twinkle toes wiggling in the water.
Usually I'm submerged, as we well know. Usually. I just lie out here. Then, the whole deal is watch. Very strong stomach muscles because I'm a very fit person.
Yes, you are.
Zimbabwe. Normally.
There's a lovely body there for a 48-year-old.
Almost 49. I normally then would get up, I'll cry.
So you might show.
Exposure.
There's not much coverage there.
And I get out onto the nasty floor, and I walk outside.
Yeah.
To our patio.
Oh, isn't that lovely?
I go here.
She's being followed now.
Well, turn away for a second so I can sit down on our big shit chair. And this is not a sunny day, but it's all wet in here. Then I lie out here in the nature and I read my book.
Hi, folks.
Hi, folks.
There's Miss Cheesecake 91. Today was? Today is the 12th of April, right?
Excuse me, I'm finishing my cheese.
Okay, well your cheese is important. I don't want to get in the way of your cheese, but
Today is April 12th. Good night, Douglas.
Good night, Douglas.
Today is April 12th, and I'm in the middle of describing my day with my mother in Harare, Zimbabwe. Actually, in Mbari. So, where was I? We were driving around in the high-density suburb. So first we passed by the shanty town, which was, I've never seen anything like it. I mean, I was trying to compare it to New York City, and assuming that people live in subways and that that had to be worse, but they were homes made of garbage bags, essentially. I'm nervous because I'm on TV. And cardboard. As I talk about poverty, and I'm giggling because I'm nervous on the video camera. Anyway, what else? So then there were these project-like things, and then there were the homes with the tin roofs.
When did you see the market with
Well, that was before this. That was right after we looked at the Shona sculptor. We went to the market. It was huge. It's bigger than, for example, the markets that we've been to in Italy.
You mean where Ben got his pants?
Right, and where you took all those wonderful pictures.
Yeah.
It was the same idea. Obviously, you could buy everything you needed. You could buy your clothes. You could buy all your food, all your fruits and vegetables. They didn't have any canned stuff or whatever like they do in Italy. But all your grains and your beans. And even there was a booth selling different kinds of rope, and they had all the samples. Actually, that's how we ran into the Nyanga, because we went from the ropes, and we started seeing this hair hanging down from the next booth, and obviously it was animal hair. So when we asked the Nyanga, he said it was oxtails, or no, bull's tails.
Well, how are the Nyangas dressed?
One of the Nyanga we spoke to was in a tie. Western.
Were there any lady Nyangas?
We just saw men. Actually, this was the first time that either of us had suffered any, or not suffered, but heard any catcalls. They were saying, "Hey, baby," and that kind of thing.
Huh. What did you do about that?
Ignored it.
Good.
But it was amazing. It was huge and teeming with people and packed.
Yeah,
so,
teeming, I think, is a very good word for all that.
Teeming was the word of the afternoon, because then we went and drove around all these the areas with the shacks and the city projects or whatever, the equivalent of welfare projects at home. And there are people everywhere. I've never seen so many people. And also it was about 4:30 or 4:45, so it was rush hour. So you saw more people walking on the highways than I've ever seen in my life. I mean, thousands. It's like...
It's also Friday.
Yeah. So Mom said people were going to the buses.
That's right.
So then we drove by the
This is coming out of Mbari where you saw the people?
Mm-hmm. Then we went to get out of Mbari. We went to the Mbari bus station, which I think that's where Douglas takes the bus to go to the country. It was huge, and people were in lines. At one point we saw a line that probably would have taken 5 hours. It was huge, and they were just packed, and they were coming from everywhere. I mean, it was like there's a poem. It's like a T.S. Eliot poem or something about the London subways sort of coughing up all these people like exhaust and smoke, and I mean there were thousands and thousands. Nice to pick your teeth on TV. Anyway, so then we went into town.
Where do we buy this corn? We buy it when we were at the market, at Honeydew, or the supermarket. Corn on the cob. I said, do you want corn? I think Honeydew.
I think at the market.
The market.
Because there was no the good market. So there was no broccoli.
The Honeydew was the outdoor vegetable market. Is that what you think we bought?
I think so, yes. Why?
It's not good.
Oh. Anyway, so then we drove into town, and we parked and saw more people waiting.
Waiting for the bus?
Unbelievable. Huge lines. And we went to the gallery. There's more that happened, but I can't remember. Anyway, I went into the gallery and looked at the art by Juno, which was terrible. Really bad. I mean, horrible neon-y colors.
Has sold 12 of the 24 pieces, she told me.
Unbelievable. Actually, the ones she sold were the watercolors, and they were nice.
Would you want to own one?
No. I wonder how could you, maybe there aren't that many galleries in Mbari. I imagine there aren't. So, after that we drove by the art museum with only like 20 minutes left and went there. Mom went to look at the Shona sculpture, and I went to the upstairs galleries. Actually, these were neat because one had sort of these like, what are they called? Etchings that were really nice, but they were all in French, the titles. And they don't have any dates or anything. They don't have, oil on canvas or aqua tint or the kind of etching. And then another room had engravings from like the 17th century or 18th century of Venice and France by these people called Sir somebody and Sir this person and that person. And they all seem sort of out of place in the middle of this art museum in Ferrari.
Well, don't forget this used to be Rhodesia.
Right, that's true. But, yeah. And actually most of the Sir ones were British people.
Right.
But, again, there's no explanation, no date, no nothing. But next to that was the modern African sculpture part. The Shona sculpture was downstairs. And I looked at this, the last 5 minutes, this, there had obviously been a contest for wood sculptors, or sculptors in wood. And they were amazing. In fact, when we go back, because we should go back. Have you been?
No, I haven't been at all.
We should go back. We'll have to look at them again because the award winner was incredible. I can't even describe it. Actually, the wood was really polished, 2 different colors, a light wood and a dark wood. And then the runner-up, or a different award, was this piece carved out of a tree, and the whole trunk of the tree sort of remained, so it was like really tall, maybe 10 feet, and the trunk had been hollowed out, and it was a shape made out of this trunk that was unbelievable. And then there were other pieces that were made of wood, like one piece of wood where the guy or the woman had gotten 7 different textures out of this one wood, a real gnarly part, and then there was a smooth part, and then a black part, and a white part. It was really incredible. Then there was this one that I can't figure out. It was an elephant done in like a blonde wood. An elephant either smoking a pipe or holding something. And he's sitting with his hands on his knees, I don't know if you can see, like this. And there's a little brown square suitcase, sort of like the little briefcase that all the little school children carry.
Yeah.
And it says Israel on it.
That's
So
nice.
he's this elephant with this thing, you know, sort of like they're showing an elephant, but out of wood,
Right.
in a suit. Sitting like this
Amazing.
little suitcase says Israel. Actually, in that Zimbabwe thing I read today, there was a little, in that chapter, there was a mention of Zimbabwean relations with Israel and how some priest, who was that, was urging Mugabe to improve relations with Israel.
Mm-hmm.
But I forget what the conclusion was. It further impressed upon me how complicated relations with Israel are,
Mm-hmm.
or how non-existent or whatever. The Zionist state. Oh, you know what else I have to do today? I have to read the paper. Mom said they're good editorials.
Today?
Well, in the past
Or
week,
every
there's one
day?
on the phone system. And she said there's something on public health.
There wasn't a editorial on the phone system. There was just an article on the phone system.
She said there was something on the health system.
Yes, that was very interesting.
What was that?
It was an article on how inadequate it is, which is an interesting contrast with yesterday's big headline article on the country doing kidney transplantation.
Well, you can have, it's like in America, right, where one can argue that technologically or the things we can do are incredible, but it just doesn't reach the right people, right?
Yeah, but when you live in a country where
Some
people don't
people
even get the
can't even
basics, where there's one doctor for 1 million people, it's not
Right.
quite that bad. But
On the other hand, though, does that mean they shouldn't be doing kidney transplants?
well, it's a very important philosophical debate. Many people would say, no, we shouldn't be doing kidney transplants until we can get the basics to everyone. Now that's not necessarily correct. You can go the other way and say those people with kidney failure perhaps have a right to better quality of life, and if a kidney transplant at an affordable cost can bring them better quality, then fine. But the problem is the cost.
Though someone else might argue the aim is to help the most people using the least amount of money or resources or whatever, try to
Yes.
maximize.
Which is currently what's being done. It's just such a small budget.
Though, at the same time, can't you do a kidney transplant but just not devote a huge percentage of your funds to research on sort of modern technological things that are so specific and focus more of your energies on reaching most of the people who don't have any health care?
Well, there's not much research being done on technology, like you say.
Well, not technology, but like do your kidney transplants, but don't make them a priority. I mean, they're not.
Okay, Les, you want to sign off now?
Actually, I have one other philosophical
We'll be there in a minute, Mom. We're signing off the camera.
debate for later, which is the incident that just happened right now, and Mom said to Douglas, you mean you actually use the stuff that the Nyanga gives you?
Mm-hmm.
And you told the story of the beetle wings. And I don't know, there's something uncomfortable, that feels uncomfortable for me about telling people who want to believe in a certain kind of medicine that they shouldn't. On the one hand, this guy's going to die because he believes in the Nyanga. But anyway, we'll do it later. Pirouette.
It's called Bicycle and Pirouette.
Still life. Okay.
Was that good or bad?
That was bad, because if it's good, here, we'll do one good one. If
Or
it's
was
good,
you're supposed to stay in the same spot?
you can end, that was almost, and stand.
Can you go around 3 or 4 times?
That's the problem. Okay, we'll go around twice.
Yeah, that wasn't so good either.
Okay. It's the floor, you see. Okay, that was the end.
Oops, I'm running out of tape now. I was running out of...
Okay, now we can go to my room and stop this game.
Goodbye.